Hey crafty cuties, welcome back to part 5 of the largest journal I've ever made, the Tim Holtz journal. And this is going to be the last video in the series. Today we're going to make some tags, some tucks, some journal cards, embellishments, and things that we can finalize our huge journal with. I have a ton of scraps I'm going to be utilizing, and then I also have just a ton of like basic items like envelopes, guest checks, things that everyone has in their stash, and we're going to turn them into more of a Tim Holtz style piece that we can put in the journal. I have, I think, everything here that I need. I'm going to start by trimming this down. I want to make some tags, and I don't really have a huge plan for what I'm doing, so you'll just have to bear with me. I'm going to cut that in half, I think. Was that straight? That didn't seem very straight, did it? We'll recut that part. So let's see. I think I want to do like a folded tag. So let me just see. I think I'll cut this about just in half. Yeah, we'll start there. And make sure you guys can see me. I think for this tag here, I think I'll put some coffee dyed paper on the inside so that you can journal. It is a little hard to journal like on this kind of Tim Holtz paper, so I'm gonna go ahead and just add glue. I probably forgot to put that lid on all night. There we go. So I did go to Joann's and looked around for some last minute little items, Tim Holtz items, and I wanted to find some charms and I couldn't find any. The Tim Holtz section is super picked over, but I did get one extra pack of these botanical die cuts that I have used over and over and over. I'll just try to line this up the best I can. Go ahead and trim this. I'll probably do maybe some sewing detail on some of these things, but I think I'll try to make up what I can here and then head to the sewing machine. All right. I think that will be great. And like I said, I'm going to fold it in half. Grab my bone folder. Okay, and then I want to cut some corners on these tags. I'm going to use this one to match the same cut over here. Okay, I'm gonna trim the coffee dyed paper on the side here just a bit more. All right, so like I said, this is just gonna be like a folded tag. And let's go ahead and put like a little label at the top here. Maybe I should, I'm wondering if I should put like a little closure. Kind of like that. I think I have some more Velcro dots. Yep. And these are the best from Amazon. They're so little and they're also very strong. So let's go ahead and just go ahead and put both of those on here like that. And then I'll glue this side on the back. Just make it a little bit different versus like your normal tag. Okay, I have my Distress Oxide here. I definitely want to ink this up a bit. And then I'm wondering if I want to have a little tie at the top. I was going to try to plan this out a bit more and have more of specific ideas, but I thought it would just be fun to show you my final thoughts. I'm probably going to make like 10 different Tim Holtz embellishments, I'm guessing, something like that. Okay, so we have that. Just, it's simple, but it's something that you can actually use. Maybe we'll top it off with a Tim Holtz embellishment here. Maybe let's look for a little butterfly. I think that would be good. Here's one. Like that. I almost feel like I need to layer one more little thing on here. No, don't like that. Some kind of like a label. But not really a label, but no, not that either. Well, shoot, maybe a label. Nope. Ooh, that one right there. Okay. And then we'll just plop the butterfly. Kind of like that. Perfect. Okay, so we have a tag. Let's set all the final things off to the side over here. And then we'll, like I said, we'll put them in the journal together later. Okay, so the next thing, I kind of want to decorate a glassine bag. And for this, I do have my stencils, and I thought that would be a great start to decorating the glassine bag. So I'm going to use my inks again. Yeah, this one is a Tim Holtz stencil, and this is one of my favorites. I've used this one over and over. It has wildflowers, which you'll see, but it is pretty used up, so it might not give us the perfect stencil, but it'll be pretty good. Okay, yeah, you can tell what it is at least. And then I like to make these flowers just a little bit, we'll do shorter, just so it kind of looks like it's all one stencil, if that makes sense. Okay. There we go. All right. And then I am just looking through my little goodie bag here, all my things. Let's use a little bit of this fabric tape down at the top, or sorry, down at the bottom. Or, oh, maybe I'll do the top actually. I'm gonna grab my garbage can. Okay, yeah, I think we'll do this at the top here. I liked how that looked, kind of like a band at the top. Okay. And then again, I feel like I gotta, ooh, no, okay, I don't like that coloring, but I do want to remember that I have those flowers as well. Perhaps something like that. And then I'm probably going to use a lot of these die cuts actually from this pack, so I might as well just get some out. We can move them to the side later. I want something not too big, but kind of like that. No, I like this one right here. Okay, we'll ink up around here, glue this on. And glue our flower down. Okay, I have some of the Tim Holtz collage paper, and I know that I want to do something with that, so I'm thinking we will use that next. So here's this. So we have our embellished glassine bag. Okay, so for this one, I do this idea a lot, but I'm going to make a collage envelope using the Tim Holtz collage paper. And this is really, really easy, and I love the result. You can also rip certain pieces off that you want of the collage paper. I'm gonna kind of rip up this side so that it's not too perfect. Okay. I'm making a pretty big mess here, but that's okay. All right, let's kind of get an idea of where I need the glue, kind of all over. So I like to spread the glue out pretty good for this project. Just kind of like that. And then just place it down. It does not matter if there are wrinkles. In fact, that kind of adds to the final look. But I do want to make sure that everything is glued down really well. And I like it on this gray background, actually. Definitely changes up the look. Okay, let's start by inking up the edges. And I feel like we can do a lot more than just the collage paper. Let's layer on some things. I have a ton of Tim Holtz scraps, and I really want to utilize those for these projects. So, kind of like that. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm just gonna pull some scraps. Ooh, I already love this little section right here with the butterfly. So I'm gonna rip that like so. And I think I'm just gonna place that down there, but let's go ahead and really ink that up so that you can tell it's a different layer. We will glue that down right in the corner, but not all the way to the edge. Yeah, those layers look really, really good. Okay, and then I think we could use one of these, but I think for this one that a label would be the perfect way to finish it off, and hopefully a bigger one, I think. Do I like that, or do I want a smaller one? You know what? Funny, I kind of like the smaller. Maybe up here. No, I like my layers to kind of be touching, but maybe down there actually. And really, I could keep adding more and more, but I think we'll stop there. Okay. So there is our collaged envelope. We'll set that back here. So let's do something with the fabrics that we have. We have a lot of different mediums and things to work with, but I want to use up the fabric as well. And I'm kind of thinking like a little fabric booklet, and let me just grab scrap paper for that. Actually, I have some file folders that need to get used up. So I think I'm just gonna fold these in half. Well, we already did kind of a little tag booklet, so let's just do a plain, for this one we'll just do a plain journaling card, but I'm still gonna use this as the base. And I'm just gonna trim that over here on my trimmer. Yep, so this is gonna be pretty simple, but we're gonna go ahead and just cover this in glue. Yeah, and then we'll keep the back of this blank so that, again, you have a spot for journaling. Okay, pick our spot. I'm just gonna use this corner because it has the pretty flowers, so that's perfect. Actually, I'm gonna lay it down this way though, so I can line up my card a little bit easier. Okay. I'm gonna trim this actually, yeah, a little bit wider than the card itself. I'm gonna keep that fabric there because I think I'm gonna use it for the next project too. I think I want to use a little bit of trim at the top, just like that. This would look really nice sewn, but I'm actually just gonna staple this on right across the top there. I really like how that looks. So we'll just do one staple there, like that. And because I like combining paper with fabric, I'm gonna finish it off with, I think a butterfly will look good. Kind of like that. So let's glue that on. Okay, and then the back, I guess if I didn't staple, well, that's okay. You know what? We're gonna use a little bit of this fabric tape. And I'm just gonna put that all the way across. And honestly, I could probably attach this down to a page, but I like having it be usable for journaling space. So I do want to keep the back open. Oops. Let's try and trim that a little bit. Sorry if I'm out of frame there. Okay, let's go ahead and use a stencil for the back. And I'm going to use this Tim Holtz floral, because you can easily journal over stenciling, and I love how that looks anyways, so. Okay, perfect. So we have our fabric journaling card. All right, that's number 4. Number 5, I want to make a little tab, and I'm going to use some scrapbook paper just for the base of it. Let's see, how big do I want this tab? I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. We're going to be folding it in half like that. So we could actually do a fabric tab, like I was just thinking, but even the paper itself is pretty cute. And now that I'm looking at it, I think I just want to keep it a paper tab. We'll do both, but I do want to add a little bit of lace. Just kind of at the top there. And I am going to staple this on as well. And I wonder if there's a tiny butterfly. There is. We'll just staple that on all together. Super cute. It would be fun to add some little bulb pins, or I have some tiny little safety pins. I just like how that looks on the edges of pages when you're using a tab. Just kind of like that. So this will just go on the edge of a page. So we have a paper tab, number 5. Let's go ahead and just do the same kind of idea with the fabric. And Again, we don't need a huge piece, so. But. Okay. And I kind of do like using some paper as my base. It just seems to make it keep its shape a lot better. So I'm just gonna carefully glue that down like that, and then we can just decorate right onto here actually. And I just have this scrap of paper, so let's just put that down like that. And again, some lace. So this is going to just be very similar to the last one, but that's okay. You can't really have too many tabs, honestly. Maybe I'm going to take that off actually. Go like that. I'm going to need to add some glue just straight down here. It'll all stick down. And then add a little bit more glue to this little strip. This will make more sense once I cut it out and show you here. And I do think I'm just going to staple again. Just the two ends for now. Whoops. I might need more staples. Yep. It's okay though. So we'll cut this excess off here. And we're going to fold that in half, and then it'll just be ready to go on the edge of your paper, your page, whatever. Okay, I'm going to add some more staples, and then, so now we have a fabric tab. So we're getting a mess here. I'm going to move all of these die cuts to the side here. Okay, next I want to use the Tim Holtz Vellum paper, since I have this nice big piece here. And one of my favorite things to make is envelopes, and so I'm going to actually use my envelope punch board. So I need to trim this down to 6 by 6, and I have my punch board here. I'm not going to exactly show how to use this whole thing in this video. I actually have a video on that though, making all kinds of things. So okay, so we're going to trim you down to 6 by 6. And we're gonna spruce up this envelope, so. Okay. Then for this size, we're gonna make a 3 by 4 envelope, and it tells us to punch at 2 5/8. So basically, we're gonna line this up right over here, which again, this isn't a huge tutorial, but we're gonna line it up. Try to get it straight, punch. And then when you are working with vellum, you want to be pretty gentle on your score marks. And then we flip it this way and line up that punch, or line up the score mark, and then do the same thing all the way around. And one more. Oops. Okay, I think that actually worked out good. Then move that out of our way. Then you can go ahead and just fold on all of the fold marks that you just made. I'm going to fold in because the prettier part of the paper is on this side. And then figure out which part you want to be the top. There, I think this is a perfect size envelope for a journal. Okay, so for me, for when I'm using vellum, I prefer to either sew or use double-sided tape, because even the Tombow Mono aqua glue that I love, it will still make your vellum wrinkle just a little bit. So I want to avoid that. And so I'm going to use double-sided tape. Never have an issue with that. I got this double-sided tape from Temu, actually. And it's pretty good. I got like 4 or 5 rolls, like really inexpensive. So I'm just going to go ahead and move the back. And then we're going to do one more thing with vellum. So put those flaps down and just line that up like that. Perfect. It feels nice and sturdy. Now, of course, you can just leave it like this and it's great, but I want to add a little bit more. I'm just going through my little die cut bin here. Ooh, actually, I have this little layered embellishment that I made for like a Patreon pack a long time ago. So I'm gonna go ahead and I think just, oh, that's right. No, it's a paper clip, which that could actually be pretty darn cute. Let's see. It would also weight down the flap. I think that works perfect. Okay, I like it. I kind of want to put a little label in the corner because I think it could be fun to put like a little date stamp or something in the corner. Yeah. For this, I am going to just use glue just because it's a little dot of glue. It will be fine. So we have our vellum envelope. Super cute. Okay, so that was number 6. Well, it was the 7th thing we made, but we made 2 tabs, so 6. So let's go ahead and number 7, we're going to use vellum again. For this one, we're going to make our own little glassine bag. I'm going to see if I can utilize this paper. Let's see how well that will look. Yeah, I think that'll be fine. Okay, so for this, just really simple. You can just fold 2 pieces and, you know, use adhesive down the sides, depending on what size you want it. But I'm trying to think what I want to do here. I'm going to fold the sides in like that, just like 1/2 inch or so. And my bone folder, I know it's so messy. Yeah, just like that. Okay. I want to try using my stapleless stapler. And so I'm just going to do this on the edge. I think this is going to work really well for this. Yes, it is. So I'm going to just do a couple of these, and you do have to make sure that you get it really far, all the way down there. Okay, I'm going to do one more near the top. And that's going to hold these sides together perfectly. And I like how it looks too. It kind of looks like it was made on a machine or something. And it just is basically crimping the paper together without staples. So fun. Okay, again, I feel like we have to add something, you know, maybe we'll do a little fabric piece for this one. Yeah, I'm going to use double-sided tape, I think, for this one. I don't want to add too much glue. That would be a big piece of glue, or a big portion of glue, I guess. So just going to add a couple pieces here. Maybe one more. right. There, a simple little finishing touch. I love how that looks. So we have our fun little glassine bag all finished. Number 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 7. Even though it's like the 8th or 9th thing we've made. We're going to use the Tim Holtz Worn Wallpaper. Let me show you this pack. Worn Wallpaper Scraps. And so it comes with lots of wallpaper pieces. And then it also comes with flowers and other little pieces. Like little washi strips kind of things. So for this one, let me make sure I'm using the paper that I want. I think I'm going to use this one right here, actually. That's really pretty. We are going to make a little wallpaper envelope. So we're going to fold this up a little bit less than a third of the way up. I hope that makes sense. And then we're going to fold this piece down, but we're going to leave a little bit of space. So we're not going to fold all the way to the edge here. And I'll show you what I mean. Want a little bit of space. So I think you can see the fold marks about a 1/2 inch above this piece. Okay, so then we're going to take a whole circle punch. You don't have to do this, but I like how this looks, and we're just going to do a 1/2 circle on the little inside portion here. We're going to use our ink. Actually, you know what? Before we do the ink, we're going to round our corners if we have our corner rounder somewhere. We do. We've just got to find it. Let me look in one spot. Got it. Okay. I really like the way that rounding the corners makes this look. It looks just a little bit more finished. And it looks nice like this with just the top corners rounded, or you can do both. I think I'm just going to do it like that. And then we'll use our ink, and inking up the edges just really kind of finishes it off, I feel. Makes it look like it is nice and vintagey. And then I like to do a lot of dark ink right around the flap bottom. And then on the insides here too. Just so that when you open it up, it all looks finished. And I even like to fold this backwards and then get down there too. And then last part is the inside flap. Now again, this is going to look really nice sewn if you decide to do that, but you can also just glue. And I might end up sewing these off camera. I don't want too much glue to ooze out. So you just need glue on the two sides there. For this, I am also going to use the Velcro little pieces. And so once again, I'm going to take the front or the top and the bottom. And by the way, to see the final journal, that will be in the next video all on its own. I'm going to do a flip through of the whole journal. And then I'm also going to explain how you can purchase the journal if you would like. So there we go. Our little Velcro dots really make this a fun little interactive piece. You can keep it just like this, but I definitely want to add, I'm just gonna add a little piece of this wallpaper border that goes all the way across here. Oh, I love how that looks so much. Trim that off. And then I think I'm going to even go one step further and add these flowers. The only thing, if you add a die cut to the top, make sure that it's not taller than the top, only because when you go to open it, if you have it taller, when you fold it like that, the top's going to get bent, which isn't a big deal if you accidentally do that, but I have accidentally done it so many times, and I'm always like, oh gosh, dang it. So try to make sure that whatever die cut or decoration you use is below the top, and it's fine if it goes below. This is so darling. I love that. So we have our little wallpaper envelope. Okay, so for the next thing that we're gonna make, number 8, I think, I'm gonna grab some scraps mixed in with some vintage pieces. I'm gonna use like this vintage check, I think, and then just some more Tim Holtz paper scraps. And you can use book scraps, wallpapers, anything you'd like. Of course, I want this to be mostly Tim Holtz decorated, so I'm going to use a little piece of this Edith Holden, and it's up to you what size you want these little scrappy pads to be, but we're going to finish ours off a rather fun way, I think. And I like to kind of see like all the different sizes and scraps. I love when there's different colors. And these are something that can actually like be used. Actually, I'm gonna use this longer piece. Yeah, these are something that you can actually use in your journals, like for decorating, because you can rip off little pieces of the papers. All right, let's go ahead and just add a little piece of this music paper, and then I don't want it to be too thick, so I want to make sure that a piece of each paper is at least all together in the center, and I'll show you why in a sec. Kind of like that. And you can always finish it off if you want with some lace, which I'm going to do here. And this is just decorative, but we like to be decorative, I think. Okay, just like that. And then for this last part, I'm going to take an eyelet and I'm going to put everything together with an eyelet. So, like I said, every piece of this paper is at least together in the center. I could do 2. Yeah, actually, you know what? I think I'm going to do 2 holes. So one over here. It should go through that lace just fine. Maybe not. Mine's kind of like used up a bit. I'm going to grab... That didn't even make sense. I said mine's used up a bit. What I meant to say is my crocodile, I've used it a lot. I'm going to take the lace off, actually. We'll go ahead and close that up. And then we'll do one more over here. And then, yeah, you just need to make sure that every piece of paper is attached, and something like that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead just to be safe and put a staple in the center, because that was where I originally made sure that they were all attached. So now, I mean, you can keep it like this, but I was thinking that it might look cute to just go ahead and add some twine through here. And then you can attach this to your page however you want. You could put it in a pocket as well. There we go. And you can always add some little charms hanging from this if you want. But there, we have our little Scrappy pad. Number 10, we're gonna go ahead and embellish a guest check. And I think we're gonna start by stenciling right on top. A lot of times when I'm making like embellishments for journals, I'm using like mostly paper and like layered things, but it's not very often that I think, well, let me just use some basic things like stenciling and stamping and washi tape. So that's what we're going to do here, because it's honestly such a great result, and it's really fun to use these supplies. Oh, whoops. Sorry guys. So we have our stenciling, and then I'm going to grab this stamp set, and I think I'm going to do the books. You could also make little journaling cards with these stamps, and that would be a really cute little idea. I'm going to do black ink so that it really stands out on top of the stenciling. And I do want there to be space for journaling, so I'm just going to place this down right there. I'm just going to use this to press down. There we go. And again, you can totally add so much more to this. Like I was saying, washi tape would be a good one. So let me just go ahead and do that. I have a couple Tim Holtz washi tapes here. I haven't used them forever, so I can't really, there we go. Oops. Do one little piece up there, and one more. Layer on the washi tapes. So these items were really fun to make with you guys. If I can ever find the end of this, I do have one more item that I want to show you that I already made in like a different video. Okay, we're not going to waste time with that. You get the point. You could add a couple washi tapes. So here, it's just a simple thing, but really fun to put in a pocket or whatever. So the last thing I'm going to show you that I was actually inspired. This was made for me, and then I ended up making my own version for Patreon, and I love how they turned out. So I have a few of these that I'm going to put in the journals as well, and they're just, yeah, it's just a little, all of these are dies and then dies and stamps, and you just layer them onto a tag, and I think it looks super Tim Holtz. So I'm going to put a couple of those in the journal. So I had so much fun making these 10 items. Let's review them real quick and go over what we made. Okay, let's review the 10 Tim Holtz embellishments that we made. So we first have our little tag booklet. And I do plan to make a bunch of these tags or similar tags to put into the journal. So you have all that journaling space or whatever, and you have the little closure. I love the little closure. Our embellished glassine bag. Collaged envelope, fabric journal card, wallpaper envelope. I think this is probably one of my favorites. You could do the same idea with paper as well, just to keep in mind. We have our tabs, so we have our paper tab, and then the fabric. I guess they're both kind of paper and fabric. We have our little envelope here, vellum envelope. We have our handmade glassine bag, or vellum bag, whatever you want to call it. Ours little scrappy pad, and our embellished guest check. And then of course these fun tags that I showed as well. So I had so much fun creating these things with you guys. I am going to leave the final journal a surprise for the next video. I'm going to go ahead and put all of these things in it. I decided I want to do that part off camera, and I can't wait to show you guys the final journal. And definitely make sure you're subscribed if you want to see it and figure out how you can be the one to purchase it. And that's it. That's all for today's video. Have a great day. Go get crafty. Bye.